Welcome to the third tutorial in our series of Dreamweaver tutorials. This tutorial concentrates on actually creating web pages from your template and then using the editable regions. So the first thing that I want you to do, surprisingly, as we've actually saved this template as a DWT in the last tutorial, we don't need to do anything more. We've got the template set up with our two editable regions, which is what we require, so we can simply close that. And when we close that, it takes us back to the splash screen and we can create new again, something new. In this case we need to go to the more section again, and we're actually now going to create a page from template. So if you click on that, straight away it should take you to your local folders. There's mine, there's my Create Mag folder. It knows that I've got a template in there, and as we can see from the screen, that looks very much like the one I was just on. It's got the two editable regions, so I'm pretty certain that's the right one, and I'm going to hit create. And because we're creating it from the template, there we go, we've created a new page. I'm just going to take that magnification down to 75% again so you can see what's going on. And there we go, we can now see the entire web page. It's got the banner at the top as created, and it's got the editable regions here. Now, first thing I'm going to actually do is I'm actually going to take out the text that Dreamweaver has put into the editable area. So I'm just going to take that out, and then I'm actually going to insert layout object and AP div, which is exactly what we did before. I'm going to click on that AP div. I'm going to pull it to make it a little bit longer. I'm then going to make it the width of the nav bar. Okay, so in fact I'll put that height as 50 rather than 51, because I remember I set it at 50, so I'm just going to do that now. Okay, and immediately I can start typing now in that particular box. I'm going to call it home. I can now immediately change the color and add property and change color. We'll change the text color, so I'd like to use something slightly different in there, so I think, I don't know, what shall we use? We could go for something really different, or we can go for something really light. We could go for white, of course. We could put white, and if we change the properties again and go for font size, we can change the font size to say 36. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to align the text to, or text align, they put it down, and so align the text to the center of that box that I've just created, and straight away we can see it's created the home thing. I'm actually going to change that to a capital H. I'm also going to change that color because that's not working for me. I'm not on board with that one actually. Could just use the black, I suppose. Let's just try the black and see how that actually looks. Oh, it doesn't look too bad actually. Might just leave that with the black at the moment. Only thing I would do there is, you'll see that the text isn't quite sitting in the center of that box vertically. So I'm actually going to deal with that now. So I just click on the box, and I'm actually just going to add a little tiny bit of padding to the top, just to knock that wording down a little bit. So if I go padding top, and just add 10 pixels of padding there, click on that, that'll take that down a fraction. I just need to then redo the box so it fits okay like that, and I think, yeah, that's about what I'm looking for. Maybe go up one more pixel. There we go. and straight away that's looking like a button. And then of course, because we're in the editable region, I can just quite simply put in another one. So I can move that one just to one side, or I can stick in another one. Insert, there, object, apdiv, bump, and there we've got another one to play with. And we can put that in place. And we can move along. That one we can move along as well. In fact, we can move that both over there. And obviously we can just mess around until we've got the buttons exactly where we want them, and that's all editable. The last thing to do, of course, is then go to our content here and do exactly the same again. That area we can put something in, so we're going to go again, insert, we're going to put a layout object, and we're going to put in an apdiv again. We can make this particular apdiv exactly the same size as our surrounding area, so again we know that that is going to be 1366 wide, so we can put that in straight away, 1366, and we know of course that the height that we've got left is 600. So there we go, and now we have all of this as editable area. That little box up there, of course, we can just shuffle up so that's in the right spot, and pretty much you can see the whole thing taking shape. So in this one now, you can type in obviously whatever you want to put in there. I'll just type in, no problem at all. Again, if you change the properties of that text by going to font size, so you get a font size, and you can change that to whatever you want. So I'm going to go for 28, and that just makes that viewable. So that is essentially how you create the page from the template. Once you've done the basics, you just then of course select file and you save as, and of course then you can start with a home page. So you could call this home page or index, I'd call it home page, and that goes in the same folder as everything else. That's for Create Mouse. I'm just going to save that. Okay, and then I can just go file and I can do new again. It'll give me my splash screen again. Page from template, create mag. That's the right template, I know it is, so I'll create. It creates another one. Okay, and straight away I could rename that, so I could do file, I can do save as, and straight away I can call this features, and I can start then putting in the bits and pieces that I want to create for my features page. Now obviously you need to be very careful about exactly how you set up things for your features page, because that's the one that has the two lead-off sites, so you'll need to create the editable areas carefully for that, and use it wisely so that you've got horizontal pictures in place as the navigation bars for those two lead-off sites. We can go through that on another one of the tutorials. We'll see you next time. Bye now.